Okay, so for lesson 2, we are going to look at how geography is viewed and how geographers look at the world. So they are going to do that by using something called the geographic perspective, which is also known as a spatial perspective. So this is how individual places, people, or objects are related to each other. We can look at why things are located in a specific area. We can look at how regions in the world are different from one another. We can see how people have moved, how they have changed the environment. Basically just looking at why things are the way they are related to geography. And if you have a good knowledge of geography, there are many jobs out there for you. You could become a meteorologist, an emergency management official, an ecologist, a soil scientist, an environmental manager. You could work in healthcare in some capacity, in transportation, in population studies, in economics or sociology. There are many different jobs and many different areas. It's not just science, it can also be studying people. All right, so then we have the 5 themes of geography, and they are location, place, human environment interaction, movement, and regions. So we've already talked about location. These are our absolute and relative location. So once again, absolute are your coordinates from latitude and longitude and where they intersect. You cannot debate absolute location. It is numbers that are attributed to your exact location or a specific location on Earth. Relative location is using the different surrounding physical features to help identify another place. So once again, an example is Hot Springs is located near Wind Cave, or Hot Springs is along the Fall River. We also have movement, which is how people, goods, and ideas move from one place to another. And then usually they're going to change society or culture some way, somehow. An example would be with immigration. So you have people coming from one country into another. So in the early 1900s in New York, you had people coming from Italy and they brought their food with them. So now in the US, we eat a lot of Italian food. Now we also have the 6 essential elements of geography, and these are going to intersect with the 5 themes. So we're just going to talk about them together. So the 6 essential elements are spatial terms, places and regions, physical systems, human systems, environment and society, and the uses of geography. So with the 5 themes, you have place as one of the themes and region as one of the themes. With the 6 essential elements of geography, you combine place and regions. So place is just an area anywhere on Earth. It can be big, it can be small, and it is basically all of the different things that make up that place. So different physical features and different human features. So, for example, my classroom is the only one like it in the world. Yes, there are similar classrooms in the same school, but they don't have my exact decorations or exact setup. So they can be similar, but they're not the same. So if my classroom is a place, it is unique for all these different regions. We can expand that and say our school is a place, and it's unique for different reasons. It can be unique location-wise, it could be unique people-wise. And then regions are really big parts of the world, and you can see them on this map here. So if we look at the US and Canada, we have quite a bit in common. We both speak English, we have kind of a similar government setup, we eat a lot of the same foods, climate can be the same depending where you're at. If you look at the states that border the US and the Canadian provinces that border the US, So they're going to be very similar. If we look at Saskatchewan, Canada, and North Dakota, we're going to see that those two areas, even though they're in completely different countries, they are very similar to each other. Another region would be Latin America. So this is made up of Mexico, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. Those all have a lot of things in common. They have similar climate, they speak a similar language, similar religion, similar governments, so we're going to group them together. And then you can see the rest of the world. All of these areas have similarities that allow us to separate them from each other and break them into specific regions. So Southern Africa is not the same as Northern Africa, but those two are definitely not the same as the US and Canada. Okay, two of the 6 elements are physical geography. So these are physical features like climate, land, water, plants, animals. And we can look at how physical features are important to humans. And then human geography is also known as cultural geography. And this is just looking at humans. How have humans changed regions or places? How do humans interact with the physical environment? How do different cultures interact with each other? And then in both the 6 elements and 5 themes, we have environment and society. The 5 themes calls it human environment interaction, but both of them are just looking at how people interact with the environment and vice versa. How does the environment cause humans to live a certain way or a certain place? So we can look at how people change their surroundings. This can be positive or negative. So we pollute the air around us. We are going to build buildings. We might have a lot of people in one area. We might try to conserve or reintroduce animals. We can also look at how the environment affects humans. We have physical barriers like rivers, mountains, and deserts. Those are going to limit how and where humans live. So yes, we do live on top of mountains, but if the mountains are too high, then we don't live on top of them. In the US, we have lots of mountain peaks that are over 14,000 feet. However, the highest city in the US is only around, I want to say, 11,000 feet. We can also look at natural disasters and see how humans are trying to prevent those from happening, or what happens when natural disasters affect humans. And then the last of the 6 elements is the uses of geography. So this gives us a look into how physical features and living things have developed in the past and how we can predict the future based off of that. So we can look and see what countries have a lot of people either moving in or being born who are increasing in their population, and how that has affected them in the past and how it can affect them in the future. So this can help us get ideas on how to prevent issues from happening or how to solve issues that are happening. And all of these skills are very useful in lots of different jobs.